What's up guys, TechNick here, and today we're doing something a bit different. We're focusing on an unboxing from a company I'm sure you know exactly what I'm talking about by now since the launch event pretty much just happened. Yes, the company is Xiaomi, and they have sent me another Mi-STERY box. Yeah, Mi-STERY box. And it's kind of confusing because the company just recently dropped the Mi in Xiaomi. Well, not the Mi in Xiaomi, but it's Xiaomi now. So Xiaomi 11, not Xiaomi Mi 11, if you know what I'm saying. So I guess they should probably get on changing this to Xiaomi Mi-STERY box. Anyway, let's see what's inside this guy and take it from there. All right, so we do have a note over here from Xiaomi, of course, over there and over there. And it says, do you accept the challenge? Hashtag Xiaomi Mi-STERY box challenge. Hi TechNick, it's time to explore the most fashionable phone of Xiaomi. Equals Xiaomi 11, you see, no, Xiaomi Mi 11, Lite 5G NE. We challenge you to tell us the most appealing features of this phone that you like the most. Team Xiaomi. Thanks for that, Xiaomi. All right, so we're going to get on that. But first, we need to see what's happening with this phone. So let's peel this out and grab the phone itself. Here it is. There's the nice little box over there. Nice and neat over there. I like that box. It's looks very familiar, very similar to all other Xiaomi boxes. Nevertheless, this is it over here, guys. And I'm super excited for this one because, as you may have already noticed, Xiaomi have already released a Mi 11 Lite 4G and Mi 11 Lite 5G a couple months ago. This is the Xiaomi 11 Lite 5G NE, NE standing for New Edition. And yes, it is super tiny and super light and super thin, and I'm super excited to get this thing unboxed. So let's turn it around and get straight into it, taking the lid off the box over here. I'll try to get this angle nicely for you guys. Popping that down there. See my little figurines over here. All right, so opening this up. Let's see what is in the box here. Okay, so the first thing I see is, of course, the SIM ejector tool over there. And underneath that, we have the USB Type-C to 3.5mm headphone jack adapter. And we have this adapter, obviously, because there is no headphone jack on the phone itself. And inside this little box, we have the warranty card, the Xiaomi 11 Lite 5G NE Quick Start Guide, the Xiaomi 11 Lite 5G NE Safety Information Guide, and we have the case. And the cases from Xiaomi are usually silicone and they're usually clear, and that is the case over here, no pun intended. Moving on up to the actual phone itself, the first thing that you can see over here is it says featherweight design, elegant and sleek, 90Hz AMOLED Dolby Vision supported 10-bit color depth, true color display. What a mouthful to say. High resolution 64 megapixel triple camera setup, ultra wide and telephoto macro lenses too, and of course the Qualcomm Snapdragon 778G chipset this time round. High performance with dual 5G. Yes, this phone does indeed support a 5G tech. Popping that to the side for a minute and getting this other cutout piece, which we always seem to find in Xiaomi boxes. And we get to this, which is, of course, the Type-C to Type-A cord. There it is. And it has that wonderful orange accent that we've come to know and love in Xiaomi boxes. And another thing in a Xiaomi box is the cable comes, not only just the cable, not only the little earphone adapter, which so many phones forget about these days, but also a charging brick, which is something we very rarely see in 2021 in any smartphone, that is. This phone itself is 369 euros, the same price as its predecessor, I guess you could say, the Mi 11 Lite 4G and 5G. So it's good to see that that they've kept the price the same, even though they've kind of upped the ante a bit with this one. We get a 33-watt charging brick in the box, and that is what the phone can charge at. That's the rate it can charge at. And that is pretty much it in terms of contents in the box, which is actually quite a lot. All right, so we've got the phone here, and we're about to go ahead and unwrap this guy and see what all the fuss is about, because yes, they have added a couple new colors to the mix. The one that I have over here is known simply as the Snowflake White Edition. Look at that design. Absolutely phenomenal. A stunning looking device. I really do dig this color. It really looks fantastic. I'm not even lying yet. It feels really good too with the matte white finish. And Xiaomi have actually said to me that this device, this color specifically, the shimmery white variant over here, is actually matte frosted glass surface flecked with shimmering snowflakes that glimmer at an angle. And you can see it right there. That's really nifty. I really dig that. It does also come in other colors as well, and that being truffle black, which we saw on the Mi 11 Lite 5G, as well as bubblegum blue and peach pink, which we saw on the Mi 11 Lite 4G earlier on this year. So those colors are coming back, as well as this new snowflake white, which I certainly am quite the fan of. Take a look at that. Absolutely phenomenal. Now the phone itself is super light at just 158 grams, slap bang in the middle of the Mi 11 Lite 4G and 5G models, and it is just 6.81 millimeters thick, which is nothing. It is so slim. It actually, I don't even think I'd feel this thing in my pocket. It's so great. It is kitted with a 6.55 inch flat AMOLED with a hole punch at the top, as you can see over there. Full HD plus Dolby Vision support, of course, DCI P3 wide color gamut rating with 10-bit colors, meaning that we can see up to 1.07 billion on-screen colors instead of the typical 16.7 million, which we see on the average display. It is super symmetrical in terms of bezels. Yes, the bezels are still there, and yes, we still have that punch hole, but the bezels are the same size from end to end, left to right, top to bottom, which is something that you don't always see. The display, of course, also has a 90 Hz option and 240 Hz touch sampling rate. So when your finger touches the device while gaming, it responds slightly quicker, and it's also super darn smooth to scroll. At the back, we are kitted with 3 sensors. We have a 64 megapixel Samsung GW3 sensor, which has an aperture of f1.79, and it can, of course, pixel bin down 4 to 1 pixels down to 16 super pixels. We also have an 8 megapixel ultra wide sensor, as well as a 5 megapixel macro camera. And that macro camera is actually, as Xiaomi like to call it, a tele macro sensor. And the reason for this is because a regular macro camera, usually being at 2 megapixels instead of this 5 megapixel one, requires you to get extremely close to your subject at just 2 inches, which is roughly 5 centimeters. With the tele macro, telephoto meaning you can zoom in, macro meaning slightly zoom out and get close up to your subject. Mixing the two together results in you being able to take a telephoto shot of a macro shot. It allows you to take a regular macro shot from double the distance, so 4 inches or 10 centimeters, which is pretty nifty if you are interested in taking close-up and personal shots. So we're going to take the regular photo. Now this is going to be a bin down shot, so 16 megapixels over here. And we're going to take that snap, boom. And then we're going to obviously take a snap using the ultra wide, boom. I really like that. It's so nifty. And then jumping into macro mode, we should have the option over here. Super macro, and then where is this guy? So I should be about 10 centimeters away now. See, usually you would have to come to about here, but you still can, I guess, if you want. But now you can get up to this distance and still get a crispy, clear shot. Boop. There it is. Okay, that's pretty awesome. And taking a look at these shots real quick, as well as a quick snap of me using the 20 megapixel selfie snapper. Let's get a quick shot over here. Wow, there is a lot of smooth effect here. I'm just gonna take that all off, get my natural look. There it is. So the first one being the 16 megapixel bin shot of this little guy really does pick up a lot of clarity, I guess you could say. Cropping in, things are very well detailed thanks to the ISOCELL GW3 sensor. Moving on to the ultra wide shot, once again, pretty good. Not the best around, but it's 8 megapixels. You're getting an ultra-wide sensor in a phone that costs less than 400 euros and has a 90 Hz AMOLED display. I mean, we'll forgive Xiaomi for that one. We also have the tele-macro camera over here doing a fantastic job with loads of detail. And of course, we also have the selfie of me. And honestly, this looks just as good as a $1,000 selfie taken on an iPhone 12 Pro Max or Galaxy S21 Ultra. What a fantastic device this truly is. And just to sum things up, we have that shimmery snowflake design, super lightweight and thin, thanks to it being just 6.81 millimeters thick, as well as just 158 grams. It's definitely a light phone you can throw in your pocket and completely forget about. And when you do take it out, look at that snowflake white backing. It looks absolutely fantastic. It really shimmers in all different lighting conditions. I really do dig it. And I like the fact that it's matte and it honestly doesn't pick up any fingerprint smudges whatsoever. And the display is also fantastic. Like I mentioned earlier, it is 6.55 inches. It is an AMOLED panel. It has that hole punch at the top left-hand corner. It is nice and poppy in terms of color accuracy and very vibrant due to it being a 10-bit color accurate display with Dolby Vision and of course a wide DCI P3 color gamma rating. And yes, you can see up to 1 billion colors, which is just darn fantastic. It does not seem like a very budget friendly phone. This phone feels pretty premium. I'd recommend this to anyone. And let's not forget about the back camera setup, which is incredible to say the least. We are treated to a Samsung GW3 sensor, which is of course 64 megapixels and can be binned down to 16 megapixels as well. It is an ISO bright sensor, so it takes phenomenal photos like I just showed you guys a second ago. And of course, we are paired alongside that with an 8 megapixel ultra wide snapper, as well as a 5 megapixel tele macro lens. And of course, wrapping up the whole package is 5G connectivity, which is fantastic for a phone that costs just 369 euros, starting with 6 gigs of RAM and 128 gigs of storage. It's fashionable. It feels solid. It's made of glass. This thing is fantastic, guys. If you are in the market for a phone at this price point, or even a phone slightly more expensive, but this just does it for you, I definitely recommend the Xiaomi 11 Lite 5G New Edition.